How do you feel about yourself now?
It's a place I would not want to go back to. At the Mental Recovery Center, they have taught us to understand the part we played in all this and the weight of what I did. And I am willing to give my time and energy to serve humanity. I'm very sorry, Africa.
Show him with a kilo. Or with a... Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Batoa. Umechenjiwa si toa ni toa.
Toa.
Kuna mse amedecide we correct. Acha tusaidiane, hii Kenya ni ngumu.
Ni muhimu, si ninasema sasa the offer the yes, offer pot. Nataka hiyo part ya selo tupika hivyo, hata ajiulize hizi ni manini. Anleta.
Hiyo nini haifanye? Nini?
Sasa behind the scenes.
That is why you deserve masking them.
Nani alienda London?
Right. Can we? Thank you.
State your name and role in the old world.
I'd say this is a mind-opening experience for me. Being in a room with one of the greatest minds we have in Africa, and being able to see a whole new perspective of unity in Africa. I'd say it's an experience that will positively shape me as an artist and as a creative person.
It's been interesting. I came with an open mind, so I've met like really cool creative people, and it's been mind-opening, and like I feel this is a space that needs to be replicated elsewhere in Kenya, in Africa, because these conversations are what people should be thinking about. How do we design the Africa that we need to be in? How do we design the Africa that we want? Yeah.
When the words like Afro-future was introduced, then I was curious to find out, what future is this and what does it mean to me now, and to how I'm working in TV or film-related pieces. I'm just getting into film already. I only have 2 feature films, and they're highly experimental. So I guess I'm already looking into the future, and the biggest thing I find is identity. A lot of our content is foreign content done by people who look like us.
My expectations, first of all, my impressions. When I came in, I wasn't too sure, but expectations now and after the brainstorming we've done is how we can be the beginning of the difference, where we can be proud of who we are and be conscious about the content we're creating to inform, to inspire Africans to think beyond the box, to see the wholesomeness of who we are and learn to express ourselves in a way that is authentically us.
All the time Africa was making its progress. Now we need to come back and claim those stories. So find the stories that actually make us great. The stories that remind us that we are all united, that we have this Pan-African agenda, that someone can walk from Gao here and all the way to Cape Town and then come back to Nairobi and back to Cairo, and they are still on the same continent.
The black man's hand is not being detected by the automatic soap dispenser. And while he puts the light tissue paper, it detects it. Or if the white person puts their hand, the dispenser works. So this is just trying to show you how the topic of diversity in technology is very important.
But that's a nice note that it had to be science fiction.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's a hidden.
Yeah, I mean that's for me. That was the hilarity of it. I mean, the only place.
What is it? Hollywood films mostly that have a black main.
Yeah.
They usually have a custodian who's white.
Yes.
Go back to all the films.
Yeah.
Amistad, all of them. Coming to America. There's always a custodian white.
But the system says in this case that Dylan is more likely to commit a crime, and I mean Bernard is more likely to to commit a crime and Dylan is not likely to commit a crime, just because there's a tendency, or there's a belief, I might be wrong, in the US that more of the convicts are black people, right?
Yeah.
So the person who's creating this software in somehow transferred that bias that black people are more likely to commit another crime just because they're black.
Technology is not as neutral as we think. We were discussing this little notification that comes as a little red thing, sometimes with a number, that tells you you've got 12 WhatsApp messages that you need to look at. And I was confessing I'm naughty, because people say, I saw you looked at my message and you did not respond.
Here in Kenya we have problems of potholes in the road, but there the problems are we need a lane where people can use their phone and people can be productive while they're walking. So on some side it makes sense, on other side it doesn't, because you're trying to addict people to their phones. But if you go on that lane and you're just using your phone, you'd be more productive. You won't be looking at people and stuff.
Do we have an Institute for Advanced Research on the continent?
The National Research Foundation.
Okay.
And the CSIR, which is a model that is across the world.
Yeah.
That is the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research.
Yeah.
So we have those centers across.
And I need a career and I have a family I need to maintain.
Yeah.
Yet I have this legacy that's bestowed on me.
Yeah.
So how do I balance all this?
What is it that they need to hear that will unlock that possibility? Because they also have an agenda. They've got targets to meet. They have to show progress, like they're doing something. But when we speak from our perspective. We don't speak about them. So it would be useful, like, for example, to ask him, like, what are your targets? What are the themes that are of interest that you're supporting?
Free energy means that we can focus on healing the world rather than, that's where it comes in.
Who mentioned an elevator earlier on? You go up to the surface of the earth and then it shortens planes.
Yeah.
Sort of that, it's interesting.
Space elevator.
If they explain that in the first scenes.
If we did just local LAN connection so that one camera feeds to a TV in the foreground and another TV.
Like a nice big collar. It's open like this and you can actually be another piece of fabric.
And then just stuff something like cardboard underneath it to make it stand.
Or even a wire.
Yes.
Or whatever,
So that's positioning. That's us on stage positioning. We're gonna have to set it up, and this is why we need all the gear tomorrow afternoon already. So costume. And who'd like to help me wear the costume? Yeah.
Unasisimoko.
Welcome Zawadi Mawendo. Your trip to Nairobi, East Africa will begin in a few minutes. Your vitals look great and you're in a lovely state to travel. Should you be affected by the anti-gravity or motion, kindly swipe tech wall, follow the instructions, and a stabilizer pill, all herbal, will be provided. For entertainment, access our virtual library for your listening and reading pleasure. We are also registering participants for Euro 8. Let's join hands to heal the rest of the world. The trip to Nairobi will take 45 minutes and your luggage will be dropped off at your stated destination. Hope you enjoyed your stay in South Africa. Enjoy your trip, Zawadi. Zawadi, you have an incoming call.
Hotep, Juba.
Hotep, my love, you are well?
I am well. I am missing home.
I am waiting for you. The children send their love. They have been having so much fun at the Green Sahara project in North Africa. Our children are addicted to that forest. And how did the treatment go?
Well, and since my guinea pig recommended it, I didn't have any doubts.
I'm glad it went well.
Thank you, love. One never really knows just how much baggage we carry.
Well, even at such a peaceful and very wonderful time in our continent, we must not take anything for granted. We have secured the future, and it is now time that we also go back and sort out the past. The genetic memory therapy really helped me. It helped me heal my colonial wounds. I didn't know I had such wounds.
And Cape Town is lovely. Thank you, my love. And oh, I got to visit the Museum of Africa. It's the third world country. I mean, it's amazing how far we have come.
Did you see that time when we thought that buying things through our phones was the best thing ever?
Digital money.
Yeah.
I'm glad that boat has sailed.
No, not exactly. It's what people can do when they believe in themselves. And speaking of that, you are speaking to the head of operations for the newly launched Intra-Africa Supersonic Bullet Train. Your man is the big deal.
I know, I'm so happy for you. I mean, is it true that I can get my material from West Africa to East Africa in less than 45 minutes?
Yeah, better than that. Once we are done with the Euro 8 program and we have secured the whole of Africa and secured the whole of Europe and healed it, well, you can go all over the world in less than two hours.
Amazing. So the train moves on magnetic levitation, right?
Yeah, basically, Africa is flying high.
If only the rest of the world would adapt our all love, all gain philosophy. I mean, it's sad just how capitalism has killed Europe. But
well,
I'm so happy for you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just forgot. I'm about to be in the Afrikanet transmission hourly. And I'm going to talk about that project. Please tune in. Don't forget to tune in.
Oh, love, you don't have to ask. Of course I will. You're a star.
Okay. My love, did I miss something?
Did you think about what we talked about? I know it's a big step and I might be asking for too much, but we already have grown grandkids. And if we have hope to heal the rest of the world, we'll all have to do something.
That is very thoughtful of you. As always, you have a point. But I'm sorry, I have to leave. The Afrikanet transmission is happening in a few hours. Mwah, please stream it, okay?
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Hotep, brothers and sisters, I greet you in the name of goodness, patience, and progress. This is your hourly update where we share news on our home, Africa. And remember, we spell Africa with a K because that's how it should be spelled. I am Thandi Mukena, and this is Transnet. We begin our hourly update with reports of sneezes along the tropical Congo forest. However, there is no need for alarm. I repeat, no need for alarm. This is the flowering season, and there are bound to be reactions to pollen. The Africa Bee Institute has issued a clean sheet of health saying that it is all well. So kindly do not be alarmed. This is just a day in creation. The Green Sahara Monthly Open Day is going well. More than 3,000 participants from all over the continent are attending. This year, we have students from Reministan, or what we used to call Europe. We hope they take some Ubuntu spirit home. The Green Sahara project was made possible by the massive success of Ocean's Desalination Project. It solved all the continental water needs, with the excess going into projects like Green Sahara, Sweet Kalahari, and Prime Kasut, all former deserts. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe. At the beautiful and fully reclaimed mouth of the Great River Congo, the Ubuntu Institute of Holistic Integration is holding its graduation ceremony. More than 5,000 students leave with diverse African-based knowledge on Earth's restoration and meaningful exploration of the galaxy. A unique feature this month is the inclusion of 5 students from Asia's Stan who show good progress. Ubuntu Institute of Holistic Integration is funded by the proceeds of trading clean water and air to other parts of the world at proper and fair market value. And now for our special report. We are about to take you back to the modern times at its prime. We are about to share with you an admission interview. Now, we'd like to reiterate that we do not do this to spread hate. Instead, this is to encourage continuous healing, transparency, and accountability. Up next is an interview with a CEO of a multinational company that will give us an insight on what capitalism was all about. State your name and role in the old world.
My name is Simon Smith Makonde. In the old world, I was a management expert. My highest ranking being a CEO of Transcom Africa, one of the biggest companies working on the continent then.
What sort of operations were you involved in?
Well, we provided communication solutions for the continent. Well, we did a bit more. We traded data. We used people's confidential perceptions to manipulate purchases, markets, trends, leadership, elections, and many more bad things.
And people paid value, or what they called hard-earned money for this?
Yes. It was called business. It wasn't fair trade. But this is something we all knew about and we were taught never to admit. As long as people got what they perceived as their dues, whatever we did after that was our business.
How do you feel about yourself now?
It's a place I would not want to go back to. At the Mental Recovery Center, they have taught us to understand the part we played in all this and the weight of what I did. And I am willing to give my time and energy to serve humanity. I'm very sorry, Africa.
Tomorrow?
Wow, what an admission. The Mental Recovery Institute is doing amazing things of transforming African sellouts to Africans who are of benefit and progress, not only for Africa, but the entire continent. Now, I don't know, everybody knows the word graphene and the impact it has had, not only on Africa, but will have in the world over. And it has ended dependence on fossil-based dominance and fuels. So who else? We have the right person this evening to talk to us about graphene, and I am talking about engineer Juba Jabulani. Hotep Juba.
Hotep Tandiye. Good day to be alive.
Absolutely. Let's talk graphene.
Yes, of course. The last time I took you through the Intra-Africa Space Elevator, ICE, but not ice cream. Today I will take you through the Intra-Africa Supersonic Bullet Train. We have cracked a cost-free technology that is able to move people and goods through magnetic levitation.
Did I hear you say cost-free?
Yes. Those are the many wonders of the multiple use of graphene technology. You see, at Africa Tech Lab, we don't just invent things. We invent things to better the life of people. Not for money. That is just an old experience.
Yes, very old-fashioned. And I understand that now you can travel across the continent in under 40 minutes.
And not only that, the Africa Worldwide Commerce Institute has consolidated all African resources and into such a system that we are calling a hotpot. This simply means that every child born as an African will be able to claim POCs, that is points of commerce. In 2019, you will say that every child born of African descent will be a billionaire.
Isn't that dangerous?
Not at all, Tandy. You see, free energy allows us to focus on healing the world rather than try to take it over. Like our former oppressors, Reministan can be saved. Asiastan, we can send them clean air through every other means that possible that we can. You see, also because of the massive solar power capacity, we are going to join hands with the Astro Solar Company of Africa and see whether we can explore Dogon and Sirius Belt. And finally, we can find out whether aliens are real or Hollywood was just a hoax.
Now that's a good one. And of course, it seems truly that graphene is the paradigm shift that has changed how Africa works and the entire world as a whole. Thank you, Juba.
Thank you, Dandy, for having me.
Fellow Africans, that is it for our early transmission. Peace.
Tomorrow is an imagination, yesterday is a memory, and both are rooted in today. Multi-generational genetic trauma therapy helps you clear out the trauma, that which you know about and that which you don't. Secure your tomorrow today.
Oh, there you are, my love.
Oh, my love, you did so well. I should start calling you Captain Graphene.
Thank you so much. But did I mention how charming, how wonderful you look this day? You look so stunning at 83. I wonder how you look when you're 100.
You're a charmer.
And I meant to remind you that I registered for the Reministan adoption process. You are right, that it is up to us to make sure that we heal the rest of the world, just like we did with Africa. I think it is time we got an American baby and teach them how it is to live life in Africa.
Beautiful. Thank you, my love.
Whoever did the design of the flyer, who did the design? Great job. Both. If I was hiring, I would hire you on the spot. Very good. Actually, that's what got me here, I must say. You know, but what I was imagining when I saw the design and Africa in 2045, I thought in the part of satire, maybe you'd put politicians locked up somewhere.
Yes.
You know, politicians of 2021, you know, locked up somewhere as part of the satire. I think that would be very creative.
You guys have combined technology and what I'll call African. To be African is stage. To be African is what I've just seen. Despite that we are moving a lot to screen everything and TV and everything, I wish, and if I was to be asked, the Africa I see, especially in the creative, is what I've seen today. What I've seen. I have not wasted my evening because I've seen something. I've seen what I would call Africa. But this is Africa.
Might it be that probably with the wrong attitude and the current education that we have, might that probably be the problem, that we've been receiving education with the wrong attitude, and therefore eventually we end up not being as productive as we ought to.
If you ask me which tribe I am, it's a comedy for me. It's a total comedy. Or which is my home. We've been traveling this world more than we know. And it's the education we were given that tells you someone found you here. You had trade, you had commerce. We could mix bronze in 1100 here. We had street lights here. One of the earliest flushing toilet was here. Yeah, I know I sound mad. I know. But read a bit about yourself and not what you've been taught about you. Then doing competitions around the country, we will not even go to do the competition. People will be coming to us the more we read about ourselves. I think it's important. Of course, in the context we are in now, we can't forcefully go back because the context has really gone. But we can make something about our heads. We start with I.
I discovered that a lot of things have been imposed on us as Africans. You know, the dark continent, even the names that we have discussed about what describes Africa. So I realized that, originally we have beautiful history, we have a lot of positive content, but since we have been depending on others to tell us who we are lost. So the last 3 days of, thinking and planning has made us realize, one, the African story needs to be told by Africans. Africans have a lot to inform and inspire. And we need to tap back into our creative sources, our creative selves and our talents, and see how we can now express the new Africa and see the positivity and the ability for there to be change. Yeah, so that's what we've had a lot of brainstorming sessions on different things, and we've discovered we're extremely resourceful, even just by talking about the talent and the things that people do. And we need to embrace technology and learn to tell. I think the biggest story is, what is the African narrative? It cannot always be hunger, disease, and lack, because that's what everybody else tells us about us. And we compared how other parts of the world have manifested greatness simply by using their talents to create a narrative. Every African knows America, even if you've never been there. You see the New York Bridge, you know that's San Francisco, you know this is where. So what if we told the African story from the Africa that we see? We could change the world's perspective.